Hebrews chapter 2 verse 1 says, we need to pay the most careful attention to the things we have heard, or else we will drift away. In other words, human beings can forget like mad. It's so easy to assume that because you knew something before, you still know it today. Quick story. October last year, 2023, October 1st, 2023, I was preaching here at City Church, and it was Independence Day, and so I thought it would be a good idea to recite the second stanza of the old of the old national anthem. It had been a while, but I knew it now. I know it. To my greatest surprise and eternal shame. It will do you like a dream. I couldn't remember. I was stuck halfway in front of the whole church. That's how it is with our faith. If we do not pay the most careful attention, we will drift away. How do we keep from drifting? It's not just enough to state what we believe as clearly as possible. We also need to repeat what we believe as often as possible. And that's why Paul tells the Philippians in chapter 3, verse 1, for me to write the same thing to you is not tedious, but for you it is safe. And so this week when we come and say, I believe in God the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. Next week, I believe in God the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. The week after, I believe in God the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. What we should be learning is that truth worth knowing is truth worth repeating. And this isn't just about the creeds. It applies to everything we learn about God. And we need this reminder because we always want something new and shiny. We tend to come before God's word like we go to a comedy show. By that, I do not mean that we don't take God's word seriously, because we do. What I mean is that the first time you go to a show and you hear a joke, it's very funny. You will laugh so hard. And when you go to the next show and you see that same comedian and he cracks that same joke, maybe you'll smile out of politeness. Or the third time you go to yet another show and the guy comes and cracks the same joke again. He comes and says, when a baby is born, there are two things involved. Be like, it's enough. And that's what we do. Oh my goodness, this Joseph series is too long. How long? I've read this passage before, I will just skip it. Oh, why are they telling us about giving? No, we should give. Why are they preaching again for us? That's what we do. But the view we should have is like a concept view of God's word. I was at the experience a few years ago, and Chandler Moore was ministering, and he said, I have a new song for you guys. And everybody was like, that's nice, but that's not what we came here for. What we came here for is to hear, I'll never be more loved than I am right. I've heard it 500 times before, but I don't care. Truth worth knowing is truth worth repeating. And we need to repeat the truth over and over and over again so we do not forget. I like the way a writer, Joshua Gibbs, talks about repetition. He says, pagans repeat their prayers because their gods have thick skulls. But Christians repeat their prayers because they have thick skulls. Pagans believe that they will be heard for their many words, but Christians believe that they themselves will hear for their many words. And that's why in every single sermon in City Church, you will hear the gospel repeated over and over and over again. Why? Because truth worth knowing is truth worth repeating.